Hello there. Hold on. Let me figure out what this noise is. Ooh, this is a bad noise. Hold on. Oof. Sorry, so sorry about that. Wow, that was a bad noise. Well, hello there. With every good stream means that there's always something that goes on technologically. So here we go. That was my technological issue. Let me know if you guys can hear me. I want to make sure that you guys are able to hear me now. Um, just say yes, we can hear you. No, we can't. Can you hear? Can you guys hear me? Just throw it in the chat. Yes, no. I want to make sure you guys can hear me. All right. Looks like you guys can. Yes. Thank you. All right. Yeah, sorry about that, guys. All right. Well, happy Wednesday and welcome again to the Travel Esquire channel. So as we do with every stream, we take a moment and say hello to the people who have joined us. So today we have Rhonda. Thank you for joining us, Rhonda. I appreciate you coming in on the stream and letting us know that you're here. Thank you. Candace, hi. How are you? Good to see you. And then we have also Ohana Sunscapes. I think you're new to the Travel Esquire community, so welcome. I'm so glad that you're here. And then we have Renisha. Hi, Renisha. Happy Wednesday. So good to see you here today. With Christine. Hey, Christine. I'm so glad you joined us today. And then we have Aubrey, whom I love. She is a rock star. Welcome to the Travel Esquire community, and thank you for joining in. So I'm glad everybody can hear me, and Joel as well. Thank you for joining in today and supporting Joel. So again, welcome again. Um, just some housekeeping, just to go over some housekeeping really quickly. This is an interactive session, so if you have any questions, make sure you put them in the chat. When you do, put the letter Q. Ohana, I'm sorry. Okay. It's my first time seeing you. Well, welcome back. My apologies. I'm glad to see you here. Just make sure when you ask a question, put a Q in front of your question. That way, because I'll get stuff in the chat, but I'm able to see that you actually have a question and can answer it. So today, our topic is really a one of those, I wouldn't say taboo topics, but it's definitely one that I want to bring to the attention of travel advisors. And, it's always that question of, I'm a travel advisor. I have to get out there. I have to market. I got to put content up. I got to be on the Instagram and the TikToks and the Facebooks and do lives and write blogs and all this other stuff. And one of the things that, in speaking to other travel advisors, I'm telling them, like, you are a content creator. And they're like, no, I'm not. I'm a travel advisor and I'm marketing myself. Yes. But your marketing involves taking photos while you're in different locations, putting them up on the website, your website, putting it on Instagram, Facebook, wherever you market to. You also write about your experiences. You ask people to come to you to book travel services. You're putting content out there for people to digest or ingest with hopes that they will come to you and you provide a vacation for them. So you are a content creator. You are creating all of these things. And that is your second hat. It may not be your primary hat, but it is your second hat. So I want to make that very clear. So as we go into what it takes to be a content creator in today's discussion, I want you to put that secondary hat on and think of all of the things that you do as a travel agent to bring new clients to your agency and introduce what you do to prospective clients. So the first thing, well, first I have to say hi to Nikki. Hey, I'm so happy you're able to join us. I am so thankful for everyone here today. I do want to take a moment to say thank you to everyone who is here live or on the replay for supporting the Travel Esquire channel. I've only been doing this for 2 months, and the feedback that I've gotten has been nothing but positives. So thank you for supporting my channel. If you have any other travel advisors that you know of, please recommend my channel to them. Also, don't forget to hit the like button. That helps with all the algorithms. And if you want to get on the Travel Esquire'd newsletter page, I'm only sending it to people who join the email list. You can get on the email list using this link here. The link didn't come all the way through, but let me redo this for you. Give me one moment. Here's the link if you want to get on the list. I send out a newsletter called Travel TE Tidbits, and only people who are on the list get this newsletter. So make sure you subscribe. So now all of that's out of the way, let's talk about the different ways in which you create content. And thank you, Christine, that you create content. And then let's talk about the different types of ways for you to protect that content. So what inspired me to do this stream is that there has been, I'm in a number of travel agent groups, as many of you are. And one agent said, I have another agent who goes onto my Instagram page and takes my pictures and puts them up as they are my own. And I went into mama bear mode immediately. I'm like, no, she didn't. That's not right. ... You need to block her. You need to do all of these things. Like, I went totally nuclear. And luckily I have fellow agents who are a little bit more compassionate than me, who said, well, why don't you reach out to this agent? And, she may not know what she's doing is wrong. I was like, all right, go ahead and try it. And then when you're done, block her. But no, so the agent was like, I'll reach out to her. She reached out to the agent and the agent blocked her. That to me said that agent knew exactly what they were doing. And all of this content that the other agent was putting out there, because putting content out there takes time. You have your social media calendar. Whenever you're doing a site inspection, you're taking photos and videos and going live. It's a lot of work. And it's you putting yourself out there to the masses and making sure you get the right angles and so on and so forth. I do this myself. I know the work that goes into putting content out there, especially as travel agents. And you got to take a moment to protect your content. Now, if you choose to share it, which a lot of us do, that's one thing. But, if you're not choosing to share it and somebody's taking your things, you need to protect yourself. Okay, so first thing I want to go into is just for you to get a base understanding about ways you can protect yourself. So first we want to go into the trademark versus a copyright. Okay, so a lot of people get this mixed up, not understanding the difference between the two. And you can have content that's both eligible for both trademark protection and copyright protection. So I can definitely see where the confusion comes in. So let me first define what a trademark is. So a trademark is a specific mark or saying that identifies your company. So you're thinking more about branding. Now, so you see with Travel Esquire, I have my logo and my colors. See, we'll go here. All my colors, the green, the gold, and the white, that's my colors. My logo here, that's all branding. So when you see that, you know that that's me. That's Glenisa, that's Gigi, right? Think about it at a larger scale. The Nike swoosh. They don't have to say Nike. You see the swoosh, doesn't matter what color, how big, how small, that's Nike. That's brand recognition. That's trademarked. Okay. Same thing with, let me see. I'm looking on my desk just to see different things. Apple, you have your iPhone. All you see is the little Apple mark, right? So with that, that's trademark. That's trademarkable, you know? And so that's something that, goes to your brand. It doesn't have to say Apple. All you see is a little apple and you're like, oh, that's Apple. I recognize it. Yay. So that's trademark. You're thinking more brand. You're thinking a logo. You're thinking words. Like your company name. If you have a tagline, like my tagline is where legal meets travel, that can be trademarked. Now, copyright on the other side is more for your artistic expression. You're thinking music. You're thinking your blog posts. Aha. You're thinking your written words, books, magazines, articles. All of that is copyrightable material, right? And, so that's something that, those are the difference. Now, there are instances where you can have trademarking and copyrights be, for one thing. For instance, for books, if you have a series of books, you can get that book trademarked and copyrighted, right? You're getting it copyrighted for the artistic expression, your written word. You're getting it trademarked because it's a series of books, that are popular. For instance, Harry Potter is a good example. There's 7 books in the series. So Harry Potter can now be trademarked because there's 7 books in the series, all with the same name. They add and so and so and so and so, but it's Harry Potter and Harry Potter and. So now you can get Harry Potter. It's eligible for trademark protection. It definitely meets the minimum criteria. There's other criteria as well, but it meets at least the minimum criteria. So you have to understand what those are, and that goes into how that's applied. Now, one of the big misconceptions is that if it's out on the internet that people can take it because it's not a registered trademark and copyright. That is the furthest from the truth. What they have is called common law rights in your trademark and copyright. So by posting it onto the internet, that does not mean you have no rights in people copying your work. You do. What happens though is that your remedies are limited. So, for instance, I put up a blog post and Ohana, she says right here, she had a friend and she put it in quotes because your friends are not going to do this to you, who took her post and pictures word for word and used as her own. And it was obvious that was her tone, and she didn't even block her from seeing it. Like, that's ballsy. That's bold, but that's copyrightable material right there. There's, whether or not she had it filed with the Copyright Office, she could say, take it down, issue a cease and desist letter, right? And then seek, and then seek the assistance of wherever she had it posted to take it down. They call it a Dmca Takedown, and we'll go into that shortly. So she can do this, but you're limited to that. Now, here's the difference. If you copyright your works, you now, not only can you do all of the things I talked about, issue a cease and desist, request it to be taken down, the provider who's hosting it, have them remove it. You can do those 3 things, and on top of that, ask for damages. So if they gleaned any profit over the proliferated material, now you can say any profits that you got, that you received, now come to me. Why? Because you use my material and market it as your own without my permission. See the difference? Gives you a lot more teeth. Then on top of that, you have a stronger basis for your Dmca takedown, because now you can prove that this is actual copyrighted material, and that they took that material from you versus you taking it from them. So it gives you a stronger case. So all of those things are important as you go into your content creation. Now It may not be economically feasible to do these things, and I totally get it. But I want you to know that just because somebody took your stuff doesn't mean you have no rights. That's not true. So let's talk about what happens when somebody takes your things. So Disney, because Ohana brought this up, yeah, the Walt font. Disney is huge on trademarks, and they protect their trademarks and their material like nobody's business. I swear to God, you would think that they had a whole army just looking for trademark and copyright infringement. And the thing is that excuse me. The thing is that they come for their coins. Before I had issues with my hands, I used to make tumblers. The ones that are I don't have one here with me, but the ones that are personalized. I used to make tumblers, and people will post their works for sale on these Tumblr sites. I don't know what kind of secret squirrel moles that they have in those groups, but they do. They find that Tumblr for sale on that site with Disney stuff on it, that entire page is taken down. So the owner of that site now lost all of the work that they've done to build that Facebook group or that site. And so Disney has been successful time after time after time, because they have that power behind them, not of Disney, but because they have registered trademarks and they are enforcing them. You know what I mean? Yeah, you were lucky. The fact that they sent you a love letter, she said, yeah, they had somebody looking at your site and sent you a love letter. Yeah, you're lucky. They could have asked for money and they would have got it. They're not playing. And so, but that is the responsibility of you as the mark owner to police that stuff. Just because it's registered doesn't mean that they're going to police it for you. You need to police it as well and protect your trademarks or your copyrights. So that's the first thing. So the next thing that we want to talk about in this, we talked about trademark versus copyright, common law rights versus the rights of filed marks. Now, a lot of us go ahead as travel agents and advisors. We like to put music to our videos because we want to make it entertaining. We want to draw people in. We want them to know that we're here to help them and look at the experience that I can bring to you. Right? So we want to add music. We want to add all of these little things to make it pop. Got it. You have to be careful about that though, because not all music is good music. Trust me, the algorithm police are out here. So with the algorithm police, they're looking for your beats and your music to make sure that it's you're not utilizing copyrightable music. So, if you want to put "It's a Wonderful World" by Louis Armstrong, do you have a license to use that? 9 times out of 10, I know I don't, but that can result in your, you being flagged by one of these, by whatever platform you're using: Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. I'm gonna stay with those 3 because those are the big 3. I'll even throw TikTok in there. But the other part you have to understand is that if the music is free on one platform, doesn't mean it transfers over to another. As a time-saving thing, we like to, we'll make this an Instagram and then share it to Facebook and TikTok. It may be shareable to Facebook because Facebook owns Instagram, but it may not be shareable to TikTok and may get you dinged for that. So you got to be careful with that. One of the things that I use for my music, I purchase music, royalty-free music, and there's different places where you can purchase it from. I currently use Upstream. There's a link in the show notes if you want to go there and take a look. I know a lot of people use Epidemic Sound. Epidemic, do not ask me to spell it. It's not happening today. But a lot of people use Epidemic Sound. I use that, but I found they were just a little bit too expensive for me. Some people use Audio, AUDIIO. Those are three different services that's out there that can be used for royalty-free music on all platforms. Just make sure you look at the terms and conditions and make sure that they work for you. But that's a good way if you want to incorporate music into your videos, into your content, that you use one of those services in order to so you don't get flagged. Okay, you just don't want to get into that entanglement with any of these providers. And trust me, they have all the algorithms out there to detect if you're using music you're not supposed to. Again, don't forget, add a Q. If you have a question, put it in the chat. Make sure you put the Q in front of it because I want to answer your questions because it's been great so far. So now the next thing we want to talk about is ways to protect your website and social media, and ways in which to keep your site from being taken down. So we talked about content creation. We talked about trademarks and copywriting and the difference between the two. We talked about common law rights versus the rights you have if you've trademarked or copyright. So we talked about all of those things. And we talked about utilizing music in your videos or in your presentations and making sure it's royalty-free music. Yeah, Christine's actually right. She posted a video of a DJ playing a wedding and Instagram pulled it based on the music. Yeah, they can play the music at a wedding. But, once you put it on one of these sites, they'll tag it. And then you have to explain, like, it's just, music at a wedding, But it's they're tagging it. Like, these music, people who made this music did it not just for the artistic expression, but they also want their money. They want to get paid for doing it. And think about it. We as travel agents, when we sit here and do all types of proposals and all of these things for our clients, we want to get paid for our time and effort too. So that it's the same thing. So, if they are, so they're going to flag you for utilizing the music without paying them their coins. And I'm not mad about that because we would want that same. So that's me on my soapbox coming off and moving on. So now we're talking about ways to protect your website. So one of the things I talked about is utilizing royalty-free music, right? Making sure that the music you're using can be used. And it's used all across all platforms. So you're doing this to prevent what they call as a Dmca Takedown. The Dmca stands for the Digital Millennial Copyright Act. And the reason why you and it's a law that came into place about 7-8 years ago, maybe 10, to protect people who are out here putting out their original stuff and from people taking it with no recourse. And what they're saying is that you as platforms, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, you guys are out here sharing all of this content and original content by its users. You need to be responsible for helping users protect themselves in case somebody takes their content without their permission. And so so the regulators put the onus on these platforms to make sure that it's not a free-for-all for people stealing content. It doesn't mean that everything is caught, but once it's brought to their attention, they have to do something about it. And what does that mean? That means that they can take down the offending content. I saw that for another travel advisor on Facebook who used music, and what Facebook did is they left the video up there, but then they didn't play the music part of the video. They said this part of the video is subject to review due to copyright infringement. Put it right out there. I was like, ooh, that's what we're doing, because that's embarrassing. You're putting stuff out to your clients, and then Facebook has a whole big thing saying that we're not going to play the music because we think that your business owner infringed on somebody else's copyrighted music. That's a credibility issue. So yeah, so that's something you need to really understand. You don't want that. Yep, you're right. And they mute it. You're absolutely right. They will mute it with that big old thing there. And it's just, that's not good. That's not a good look. So you want to make sure you're using royalty-free music. Another thing that they can do is they can take down your entire website or your entire page. Talked about that earlier with the Disney example, where, somebody is hosting a page full of people who sell tumblers. Somebody decided they wanted to put a tumbler on there that infringed on somebody else's copyright. And then they're like, we don't care if it's not you, page owner. It's your page. You're in charge of it. You regulate it. This is on you. We're going to take down your entire page. And I've seen that happen for people who have pages and followers for the past 4 years, and all of it's gone in an instant because of that one post. They have that right. They can, websites as well. If you have stuff on your site, your website, one of the things that some people do is, when you have a website and it infringes upon somebody else's site, like for instance, somebody has travelesquire'd.com and they do travelesquire'd.net in the hopes of holding it hostage. I can do the DMCA process. I can have them release that domain. Say, look, this is part of my brand. My brand has been established, and they're holding on to this piece of property and charging me thousands of dollars for it because they, that's what they want to do because they know it's a part of my brand. I can get that taken away from them, and they won't get their money back. So there's different things with that. And to account suspension, you heard of being in Facebook jail, to account revocation. You don't want those things. A lot of us have put a lot of hard work, time, and effort into our content creation, into our pages, into our followers. And in a blink of an eye, because we didn't do something right or we didn't follow the rules, it can go away. You don't want that. So you really want to make sure you're following the rules. So Nikki has a question here. And she says, if someone adds, I don't own the rights to this music, does it make it permissible? No. If you don't own the rights to the music, you shouldn't be playing it. That's the hard line in the sand. So when I see that up there, I'm like, okay, whatever. You know what I mean? It doesn't mean anything. It has no teeth to it. She says, I see people do that when they go live and such. And there is music. Yeah. They just haven't caught it yet. They haven't caught it yet. Whether or not you say you don't own the rights doesn't matter. Everybody knows you don't own the rights. That doesn't mean that it excuses you taking that music, because you still need to pay the royalties for it. Oh, Christine, glad to answer that question. Yeah, no, it doesn't make it acceptable. Not in the slightest. The only way that makes that acceptable is under the fair use laws. So fair use is meaning that you can use the name or likeness of a brand or company so long as it's not for commercial reasons. So for instance, if I make a Disney cut for myself, that's fine. It's me. I'm using it for me. I'm not trying to sell it. I'm not trying to put it out in the marketplace for anything. But if I had Disney logos all on my stream, because my stream is for a commercial purpose, it's to put myself out there so people know about my law firm and hopefully become clients. So it's for a commercial purpose, even though I'm not getting paid off of my stream, but it doesn't meet with fair use because, it's not for my own edification. Like if I wanted to make a Disney cut for my daughter, that's fine too. But once I sell or have the purpose of doing it for commercial use, it's no longer under the fair use laws, and off it goes. So all of those things with music, if they're doing it, like let's go back to doing the wedding, right? Now, being a destination wedding specialist, I know Christine, so I know what she does. Being a destination wedding specialist, by you posting it on there, means that, you're doing it for a commercial purpose. You want to show this wedding. You want to see the end result of the work that you helped do and the wedding you helped build and create. Got it. That definitely would be a ding. However, if you went to a wedding and you just posted, hey, I'm at this wedding, we're having a great time, it's not for a commercial purpose, and that slides under fair use. So, yeah, okay. I had YouTube ding videos that I purchased from a travel mentor that she created. So someone was trying to claim copyright. Wow. Wow. That's shiesty. For somebody to come in and say that but that's really, and I've seen those claims happen where somebody would say, oh, you can use this, you can use that, and then somebody else make a claim to it. Or even like one of these free sites like Pexels or whatever. I don't think it's necessarily Pexel, but I'm just using Pexel as an example. Where they say it's royalty free photos. Somebody uses it and really somebody posted that photo because they copied it from somebody else. That's happened too. So you just have to be really, really careful where you get your content from. I subscribe to a couple of places myself for photos. Because I want to make sure there's some recourse in case one of those photos comes back with a copyright or trademark issue. I pay for my music for the same reason, because I want to have recourse if somebody comes to me and says, hey, this was my music, this was my copyright, this is my copyrighted material, you're using it without my permission. Now, the permission you get is generally through what they call a license, which is a written contract between you and the owner of that trademarked or copyrighted material, giving you permission to utilize that material for yourself. That same thing with royalties. It's a license for you to use it, and you pay them. Sometimes you pay the person, sometimes you don't. It all depends. Now, again, I know that we as travel advisors share our, we go on FAMs, we go on different trips, and we share our photos and we share our videos. But, if somebody puts it online, don't assume that you can take it unless they explicitly say, you can take these photos, you can use these photos, you can use this video. Don't assume. Never assume. Because they may say, well, I shared it for people to look at, for you to use in your business, but I didn't say that you can post them. And if you do share it, give them the credit. So if I posted a video or photos and I say, go ahead, you can use it, you should give me the credit and say, taken by Legally Pink Travel or what have you. Give them the credit. Don't pawn it off as your own. Okay? Protecting your content. So one of the things that you should look at in protecting your content, and please keep the questions coming. This is great. Protect your content. Watermarking. There's different apps out there that when you upload a video, it'll automatically put a watermark on it. I don't know the name of it. I would do a Google search, but watermarking helps. There's a content creator that I watch on YouTube, and he embeds a little number in the middle of his streams. So if somebody decided to take his stream, because he said that's happened, he can say, look, my number's here. This isn't yours. This belongs to me. What else? Watermarking, policing, putting your name on it. You should put your name on it anyway. So for your blog post, say, this is by ... Also, I know you've seen at the bottom of websites, copyright, whatever year. Make it a habit to put that on your website. And the proper way should be copyright at whatever year, all rights reserved. Now, if you had that content up in 2021, you want to say copyright 2021 to whatever year it is, all rights reserved. So here, I'll show you what that looks like. Give me 1 second. I'm going to type it up here for you. So you want to put the little C thing here, and then copyright 2022. All right, so this is what you want to add. Let me make that bigger so you can see. So this is what you want to say. The bottom of your blog post, at the bottom of your web page, at the bottom of whatever it is you need to. This is what you want to put up there. And again, if that content was originated in 2021, but you're still using it in 2022 or and beyond, so you want to say this 2021-22. Okay? Just so you understand what the difference is. Put it on your webpage, put it on your Facebook page. If you don't want people to, if you have people in your groups and you don't want them taking it, make it known you don't have permission to take the stuff. You're able, or whatever it is that you want to do, put it right at top and remind people of those rules. So Christine has a question. Is there a proper way to note photos, music, videos that you got permission to use? There's really no proper way of doing it. Like there's no one way of doing it. But if you put a photo if you post a photo, you can put, if you use, I use Canva, and there's a link down to Canva if you are interested in it. But I use Canva to do a lot of my postings, and I'm able to put on Canva a little note that says copyright whoever it belongs to. So definitely utilize that piece. 9 times out of 10, if you're loading from your phone, then it's yours. But if you need to download it before you load it. In that download piece, put who you got it from and then upload it to wherever you're uploading it to. So that way you give them credit, because that's important. So that's all of the things that I have. Now, okay, should you be giving permission to suppliers, TOs, host agencies who supply the content? Proper way to give credit. You should. I do get a lot of my photos from tour operators, from resorts. A lot of them provide to you as travel agents photos from the sites because they want you to sell. So yeah, you should be taking a minute to put the photos. You can put it at the bottom. Like I use a lot of it in my proposals, and I say courtesy of AM Resorts, or courtesy of Playa Resorts, photos courtesy of Playa Resorts, and just to give them credit. Like that's their photo, that's their work. They've had professionals come in and do that. So definitely give them credit. And, like I said, you could put it at the end of your proposal. You don't have to do it on each and every photo. You could put it at the end of the proposal. Say some of the photos were provided by Playa Resorts or what have you. And I put that at the end of my proposals. So yeah, you should give them credit. There really is no proper way of doing so. But as long as it's somewhere, definitely. YouTube, if I the music here, I think I give credit. If not, I will change that. But I bought it from off of Uppbeat, one of the music services I subscribe to. So yeah, that's just another way of doing it. Any other questions? Because I went through everything that I had here, but I want to answer your questions. We still have a little less than 20 minutes. So I definitely want to answer your questions. But while we're waiting for questions to come up, again, don't forget to like. That helps with all of the rhythms, the algorithm, all of those things. And if you're interested in getting my newsletters, thank you. I can't remember who said it. I'll find it. Please get on that list. I email you whenever I'm going live. So you can get reminders on YouTube. Sometimes they work, sometimes they don't, but you will get an email reminder from me letting you know when to go live. It gives you links to my past streams. So if you need to go back to it, you're not searching, you can just click a button and off you go. As well as, like I said, it's TE Tidbits, Travel Esquire Tidbits. So you get tips and tricks that you would not get, or if I do handle it on my channel, trust me, my TE Tidbits newsletter subscribers get it first. Last time I was here 2 weeks ago, we did a privacy policy. We did a stream just on privacy, and they got their privacy policy checklist. If you weren't on the list, and if you weren't on the list by a specific day, you're not getting that checklist. So you get all types of little benefits. Yeah, it was Christine. Love the emails. Thank you, Christine. So you get all types of little benefits by being on the email newsletter. And I try not to spam you. I know that you guys get so many emails on a daily basis. I do too. And my hope is to not spam you, but provide you with great information to help you move your travel business forward. Thank you. I appreciate that. I'm trying. I'm trying so hard to make sure that you guys get great information. So thank you for that feedback. I appreciate it. And thank you, Nikki. I appreciate this as well. Yeah, there is a lot here. And, and I just skimmed the surface today. There's a big rabbit hole you can go down when it comes down to copywriting and trademarking, what the process is, the cost, how you can do it, how you can leverage it for your business. And, maybe that's another stream just to talk about trademarks in one stream and copyrights in another. But it's a huge rabbit hole. And to talk about I am planning to do one just on the DMCA because there's been a lot of changes and it helps smaller business owners when they're dealing with copyright infringement issues. So I do want to do a stream just honing that in, but this is just an overview, and hopefully you're not getting anything from me, Candace. Okay. I'm going to give you my email address. Email me and email me with the email you use to sign up. But also check your spam and or your promotions folder. Okay? Because sometimes it goes into those folders. So email me at hello@gaillardlaw.com with the email address that you use to subscribe. And then I will take a look to see whether or not you're on the list. Tamika, I don't understand your comment. So can you explain that a little bit, please? Thank you so much. But yeah, so definitely oh. So we are in the same playbook. It's one of the courses because I do destination weddings as well as part of my travel services that I offer. And so she's asking if I've asked Will to do a class within Playbook on this. So I talk to Will a lot. I have not asked him. He usually asks me to do stuff that he wants. So definitely make that request of him. I'd be more than happy to do that. Will has come on some of my streams. I've come on some of his. I've been on his podcast. So yeah, just ask him. And if, it's better coming from you guys than from me. But ask him, and he will definitely, if he gets enough questions and requests, he'll definitely make it happen if I know Will the way that I think I do. So, but yeah, Will is great. Any other questions, guys? We still have some time. And again, if you're not on the TE Tidbits list, please get on it. Hopefully I provided great content so far. Any other questions? Well, all right. I'm going to take it as if we are good and golden. Like I said, this was just a brief overview. And my hope is that you've left as a content creator. You understand that, yeah, you're a travel advisor, but all of the marketing that you're doing also makes you a content creator. So keep that in mind as you're creating content. Keep that in mind with every photo that you take and every blog post that you publish, that you are a content creator. Make sure you're doing it ethically. If somebody gives you permission, give them credit. If somebody doesn't have permission to take your stuff, you have every right to confront them on it. Don't be shy about it, because what you're doing is invaluable. You may not be getting paid to take those pictures, but you're doing it knowing that you're bringing value to your clients. Don't let anyone take your work. Linda also If you're not getting it, check again. Email me at hello@gaylordlaw.com with the email address that you use to subscribe. And I will take a look at it, but also make sure you check your spam and promotions folder because sometimes the email's going there. And you're right. You're not creating content if you're just reposting stuff. That's exactly correct. So, and you need to make sure whatever you're reposting, you have permission to repost. Okay? So be careful with that too. Yeah, it's a rabbit hole. It's a rabbit hole. But you guys are doing great work. And, I see you guys out there hustling every day. And I see all the content, and some of you guys wow me, and make sure you protect yourself. And again, don't let people take your hard work. That's all I have for you today. And I will wish you a very happy and warm Wednesday in January because it's cold here in New York. Stay warm, stay safe. I will be back in 2 weeks. The official date is February the 2nd. And then after that, on the 16th, I actually have my first special guest. Her name is Ashley Morris. She is the owner of Alpaca Your Bags Travel. And we are going to talk about legally charging planning fees. She is a huge proponent of charging a planning fee, and we're going to put that legal spin on it, not just why you should charge a planning fee, but how to do so legally. So again, thank you so much for joining in, and I see you in 2 weeks. Bye everyone, and you are very welcome.